welcome to the fourth and final review of the evening. Up this time is Solos. Solos is an action puzzle game with over 100 levels. The goal of the game is to shoot all the bad blocks without hitting yourself in the process. It's a twin stick, create your own bullet hell type affair. And yes, I suppose that does sum up the gameplay in quite the nutshell.
Looking at the title screen, it reminded me of Jezball and Maxwell's Maniac.
I can sort of see it, but sort of can't.
Mostly because of all the bouncing things.
Right. It's just, like, those had a much different look because, you know, for whatever reason, like, there's a very distinct aesthetic going on here. And that is, like, I'm assuming not homeroom, but like sometime in the middle of the day, maybe lunchtime, maybe not paying attention in, say, math class. We've got children's doodles.
You're thinking study hall.
Yeah. I'm like, the point is, the whole look of the game is like, what a child would draw on a lazy Sunday afternoon, or trying to stave off the boredom at school. Really more that, because of the sheet paper used here more than anything else. It's also like, if you have the child's voice on, you get a lot of children noises with the game. I recommend.
Okay, well, that's just
that
Breakout.
Yes, it is.
I'm like, yeah, it's almost that, but...
Well, this particular level literally is.
Well, yeah, like, it's Breakout, it's Pong, it's all of those, and it's something that's never been done before.
Uh-huh.
To boot.
So you're a little twin-stick shooter, Dot.
Mm-hmm.
And your goal is to hit all of the pink things with your bullets.
Yes.
In a very short amount of time, it seems like.
Not necessarily. Time is not
a fairly short amount, but
yeah.
Your projectiles bounce, and if they hit you, you die.
Yes. Time is not an overriding factor here. Like, there's no timer. Like, you can take as much time as you want.
It seemed like Petty was dying from timeout when his bullets weren't right near him, but I was probably just not noticing some.
No. Like, you are literally your own enemy. Like, the blocks don't kill you. There's no time. Only your own shots can destroy you.
Why is my game restarting? I keep getting, like, restarted level, and I'm not getting hit by my bullets.
I'm like, that's the way I understood it. Like, I don't know, like...
There is also a multiplier for your score, so I don't know, maybe if that hits 0, something happens.
Like, now the multiplier, that's the key to this game. Because that's the risk-reward factor. Because for every bullet that is on screen, your score goes up by 100. So if you have like 13 dots on screen, you're getting 1,300 points per brick. So, ideally, the whole challenge here is how much score can you get relative to your survivability. I'm like, the problem here is this game's lacking a certain something. That is namely leaderboards.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
so you're only competing against yourself?
Yeah, like there's
or other people in your house, I guess.
Yeah, it's like there's no real way to to get the full golden age of arcade experience that this is so clearly going for. At least mechanically speaking. Like, I'm not exactly sure what's up with the Children's Trapper Keeper dealings here. Like, once again, that's only something that the mind of the developer can answer for us. You know, but putting that aside, like, this game would not have seemed unusual, in an Atari cabinet. Just, replace the scribbles and I forget what kind of paper this is called. The
I think it's just notebook paper or ruled paper.
Probably ruled.
And putting binder paper, or something like that, because it's got the put binders in, but it's the big spiral thing instead of the 3-ring. Like, I forget what that's called. Point is, you take all that away and you put in, say, vector graphics. This would be a 1981 arcade cabinet. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just I'm not I'm not sure how achieved the goal of competing for score has been accomplished here. Because that's why online leaderboards exist, so you can compare your score to others.
Mm-hmm.
As it is, without that, the game loses its novelty a lot quicker than I think it wanted to, because there's a lot of content here. As it stated, there's over 100 levels. There's 130. I will tell you, you will probably get tired of this game well before you hit level 130. And yes, there are a few other modes that you can play. There's the speedrunners mode, which that just gets rid of all of what they would consider the interstitials, like you've completed this level. It's just like one long playthrough. Should you survive? I'm like, and there's also the arcade mode, which is taking the first 50 levels looped, but you only have 3 lives, so you rack up the highest score possible there. Basically, score attack is the ultimate goal here. But and how much that appeals to you is really, I'd say, the determining factor in whether or not this game is worth purchasing. Because unlike, say, Arkanoid, or a pure Brick Breaker, skill is far less of a factor here. In fact, look at the sheer bloody chaos that's going on, even with 6 shots. Like, it's not so much skill as you're lucky enough to avoid all the angles.
I mean, if you're patient enough, you could probably clear it with 1 shot.
Right, but that's not going to be very interesting.
No.
Not to mention, you are at the whims of chaos theory here. Which is, you could probably map out the few angles, but there's a point where you're not going to be able to track where the shot's going to be at any...
Yeah, it's not like Pong where it's shifting at 90 each hit.
Yeah.
Unless you have, ridiculous spatial whatever.
Like I said,
it does seem to be mostly predictable if you can keep track of the angles of all of the things that it's bouncing off of and when they bounce off of each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. It seems to be possible, but, it seems to be the way this game is optimally played,
English is hard, yes.
I think that's technically Greek.
Fair.
Shoot first and ask questions later after you've made many, many different attempts because you keep dying.
Yeah. It's like, pure Chaos Gremlin mode seems to be what they're going for here. Like I said, it's a fine game. And yeah, it's something I have never played before in this particular format. It's just, its ideas aren't enough to carry it for 130 stages. In terms of pricing, $7.99, way too expensive. Like this is a game that I'd probably pick up at like $2 to $3. Like I understand that that's probably reflective of the fact that it's got 3 modes, 130 levels, but the thing, once again, I think we could have traded in a good 70, 80 levels if you had some goddamn leaderboards here. That's really the thing that's missing from this equation. Because, you went all in on score, but you had no way to display it to the wider world. And it's not like, and this isn't like I'm saying there should have been online multiplayer encoded into this. Like, online leaderboards, I do know, take a lot less effort to have than online multiplayer. No, it's not no effort, but, it's significantly less than, online multiplayer. So, I'm not sure why that feature wasn't included, but this game just so desperately needed a way to communicate scores to a mass of people.
Right.
And without it, this game gets pretty dull pretty quickly.
But if you want, you can take screenshots and put them up on bulletin boards, either electronic or physical.
That hurt my soul.
Yes. So I think with that notation, we'll end the review session for the week. So coming up on the week ahead, on Wednesday, August 28th, we will be having a new episode of MSP. No idea if Mac's going to show up for that one. I did get more details from him today about what happened last Wednesday. I think we all thought that some body part had given out on him or something along those lines. Turns out he's been sick. Like he's got some sort of virus or bacterium that
banal ailment, not oh my god, he's about to die.
Yeah. So hopefully he's feeling well enough that he can join us by Wednesday. And as far as Fragments of Silicon, so the guest had to cancel out this week. At least we got advance notice. It's actually a bit concerning. Apparently they've been having problems picking up work in recent times. So, that's the kind of thing that precludes your closing story. Like, hopefully it doesn't come to that, but, I've seen where that tale can lead you. So, anyway, what we'll be doing is Fragments of Silicon will be reacting to the Computer Chronicles, the Internet, their 1993 edition. So, we'll be looking at the World Wide Web in not its most primitive form, but, the dawn of the the information superhighway.
What a lot
whatever.
of people would call World Wide Web 1.0.
Yeah. I mean, in fact, they'll get into it in the episode.
Yeah. Well, it's like it didn't have the World Wide Web 1.0 moniker till much, much later.
Well, yeah.
It had the World Wide Web moniker.
Yeah.
Yes. Like, it's, it's the early incarnations of the hypertext transfer protocol internets, as opposed to earlier incarnations like ARPANET or Usenet. Anyway, more on that on Wednesday. No Friday show. We did have a Friday show scheduled this week, but the guests kind of realized we're coming off the backswing of Gamescom and, requested a delay of interview.
They might need to rest.
Exactly. So, with that in mind, until next time, I shall wish you good gaming.